Alright, so it's getting late. I have to leave that house and I gotta come back. I literally only got through like half this house. It's a pretty big house. But so far I've found some ductwork issues. I found foam insulation, hot air intrusion issues in that one attic. I found a DU in a bad location that we need to move to the attic, and a few other things. He wants me to infrared scan that whole house now because he's scared there's going to be more hot air intrusion spots, which there could be, because he has a mini split DU at the top floor that he's had leaking issues from past. So I just got to go through all that. It was a lot. I don't know how this video is going to turn out, but I'm gonna make a video for it just to give you guys something for today. And thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate y'all, and we'll see you on the next one. Alright, so this call is having air quality issues and humidity issues. So I'm just going to take a temperature split. We might do some readings on the refrigerant, but I am going to take my psychrometers and we'll check actual humidity levels in the house. And we can do temp split through this too and kind of just monitor the whole system. And then if I have to come back and check refrigerant,
I live in Cincinnati, so we weren't able to be down here very often. A couple of systems we had multiple issues with. It's all functioning now, but so we've got 3 airflow systems, forced air systems, and then 1 ductless. The ductless is up in the tower. That's its own side story. But the other 3 systems, one of which is in the hallway of the 2nd floor, and it takes care of the 1st floor main part of the living space. And then there's a in the just past the 2nd floor where the air handler is in the closet. There is a access to the attic, and then that's where the 2nd airflow. It's a horizontal system, so it's up in the attic space, and then it takes care of most of the 2nd floor. And then there's another in the attic of the carriage house. There's a 3rd horizontal airflow system, and it takes care of the carriage house and then a couple of the bedrooms that are over in the main house. So those are the 3 systems, and then plus I have 2 whole house dehumidifiers, one of which is in the 2nd floor hallway and one's above the crawl space. And so it's comfortable and everything. The 2nd floor system has had issues where they had sensor issues and thermostat issues. And the guy, very nice, tiny little company, has really worked hard to make that functional, and it has been working and working there. So I think the thing I said to Jonathan was, and we've been encouraged is that, are we controlling the humidity like we should? Are the systems set up correctly? Is there excess moisture anywhere? We had my wife, of course, and everybody's freaking out about mold. I've told her that I think everything's fine. One of our painters came in. Oh man, I've never had to paint like a house like this because it dries up or expands, and we got issues. And I just said, well. And Jonathan and I were talking. I met him at an event, very nice, and he and his wife. And I said, we'd really like just to have some of your better guys come through and not only check the systems, but check overall humidity, and especially the dehumidifiers. Are they able to run? Are they set up to run when the air conditioning is not running? So that's the whole quick down low, and hopefully that makes sense.
It does. One question: do you rent this out like vacation rental, or is it you guys just come yourselves?
We don't. Yeah, it's all just it's us. But now I've got a bunch of brothers and sisters. And so I do let them come down, but no, it's not rented.
All right. Well, that just helps with information, because a lot of times when it is rented like that, people leave doors open, so you get sweating.
Yeah.
So sometimes that happens.
No, I'm pretty good, and I got sensors on the tower door, and then all the exterior doors on the first floor. So if those doors ever stay open for more than a matter of, I forget what it's sent, it probably less than, if it's more than 5 minutes, then I get a sensor notification.
Yeah. Alrighty, sounds good. I'll just get some humidity and temperature readings throughout the house, and then I'm gonna check the systems themselves to make sure they're performing. Because when you have humidity and not comfortable, it's either the envelope or it's the AC units. So we'll focus on all that and see.
And I'll say this feeling, by the way, quick note, the feeling of humidity, we really haven't had an issue because we'll keep it at maybe 70 or so. And then through the summer, it holds temperature. And then with those Daikin fits, that does, sometimes it'll mark down as overcooling to dehumidify. So really, it's always been crisp. When they're running fine, we've not really had an issue. My mother-in-law, who stayed over in the carriage house, said that she heard the air handler kick on in the above the carriage house, I guess last night. It said she heard it was very noisy in the middle of the night, but it hasn't done it since. So I don't know what that's about. But everything else, seems like it's been working pretty good. Not necessarily perfectly designed, but I told the guys originally, and so side note, so I'm a contractor in Cincinnati. We do plumbing and HVAC. I'm not a technician myself. I'm more of the business owner mindset. And even though I've got guys who are my family who are technicians and installers, I'm not going to send everybody down here to do work on it. So that's why I told Jonathan, I'd rather have some of your guys now take care of it and get on a maintenance contract.
They might miss something because they're so used to the weather and different circumstances up there.
You're exactly right.
Is there any certain hot spots or cold spots you're having? Like trying to check airflow. I can check airflow in all the vents too.
The bedroom on the second floor there, we call it the gold bedroom. If you come up the steps just to the right, that one typically has been the one that's been the most challenging to keep comfortable. And then the one straight down the hallway, people have said on that one that I think it's more of an air where the registers are, kind of blows down on the person in bed, but that really can't totally fix that. But everything else has been pretty decent.
Okay. All right, I think I'm going to start with the systems then, just to make sure static pressure and all that in the ductwork is fine. And then we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. Love to hear you talking statics. That's great. I just don't know if I want to know the number, so.
Yeah.
We'll be there shortly.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
What's your name again?
It's Matt.
Matt, okay, cool. We'll be there in a little bit.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, bye.
All right, so inside is 52% humidity. It feels pretty comfortable on that first floor, but I mean, I don't live here, so you got to go by what the homeowner says. If there's an issue, there's going to be an issue. They're the ones that live here. They're the ones that have issues and feel it every day. So I'm just going to go through and check everything. If I need to get a ladder, I'll come back out here. I'll check CFMs, or feet per minute is what I like to check on each of the supply vents. But we're going to start with static pressure, temperature splits, and humidity at the units, and then we'll go from there. But that's what I want to do in this situation. When everything seems to be working fine, I'll start with the equipment, take that out of the whole list of things, and then go from there. We need to go down, turn that one on. First floor unit. It's at the end of the hallway. It's got a thermostat there, a thermostat over there. Well, this actually looks really nice. This is his first floor. So let's see if we can poke through. This looks like metal duct. Be able to get a good static reading. Yeah, we got through there. Okay. Boom, boom. So when you're checking static pressure, you want to look at your total external static pressure. If you guys can see that or not. That's 0.5. So that's 0.5 bits overall. You're going to add your, don't even, just ignore the negative, it's on the downside. And this one's going to be open return, so it's not going to be bad. And you're going to add here. So here it's just ramping up right now, and it's spiking to 3.7. This dike had just ramped up. So this is the highest that I've seen it. If you're going to do the return in this situation, you need to take this off. I'm going to go get my screwdriver, and you need to put it in here. Sometimes I can get it above the filter somewhere else. But you want it under the coil, above the filter. I'm going to go get a screwdriver. So my temperature split's not perfect, 17 degrees, and that's from here to there. My humidity's at 59 coming in, which is to me a little weird, because I think it's pulling humidity from here and not downstairs. So I'm gonna go set this probe up downstairs somewhere just to get a reading downstairs, just to see, because I think because the one floor is hot, that return is open right there. We are pulling some return here, but not as well as there. So I want to see what the difference is now. I think this unit's not performing great or perfect because it's pulling hot air in from this floor. At least because I got these doors open. We can shut these doors. Actually, I'm going to shut these doors and get a static reading to S2. That static is on that return. There's a 4-inch filter underneath. Let's see how bad. Yeah, look how bad. So we got 0.4, 0.33 static pressure, and then 15 degree temp split. So right off the bat, first floor unit, it's either oversized or fan speed is never set up. So we have a 4-ton unit. I don't know what the square footage of downstairs is. Might have to walk it off. So I'm gonna turn it off. And then we're going to, I'm just gonna check the fan speeds, make sure everything's set up what it should be. All right. Just pulling this filter out. This filter is super dirty. It pretty much knocked out static pressure where it's perfect right now. So I'm just gonna let it run for a little bit and see if our temperature split, it gets any better. Okay, so I had to go to the thermostat and put it in charging mode to get it at 100% to monitor it. Right now we're only at a 12 degree temperature split. And we'll go over to the units and see if what the pressures are like. So you can check this outdoor coil too, and just to make sure everything is running like it should. Okay, we got the second floor unit here, and let's Yay, there's a light. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to just check this filter. See how the other one was pretty dirty. Yeah, this one is the same way. Alright, that one's the same way. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to check static pressure. Static pressure there looks good. Now we'll do the return. And I gotta do the return the same way I did the other one since this filter's here. I can't just, it goes way down. So they have fresh air. They have fresh air makeup right here. They don't even have a damper on it, so it's always pulling out fresh air. Golly, what a nightmare. Alright, let's get our humidity readings. Humidity intake's not bad, but a little high. Probably gonna have to go outside and check the pressures on this one too, just to double check everything. Okay, I know what our return air is. I'm gonna check humidity up in this attic. This hot, this is insane. I don't even know where I want to put it. Right here. It's 88, 89. Alright, I'm gonna go looking for some hot air intrusion. We're at 88, almost 90% humidity. I found it. Alright, so I got this little thermal imager. Man, I'm sweating. You can tell it's humid up here. I'm going to, wrong way. I'm just gonna check and scan this attic. See if I can see anything, and then go into the closet and see if I can see anything. This thing's nice though. See a lot of that. A lot of that holding heat, but look at that. This one is like 900 degrees from that spot. Okay. Alright, so the call just ran too late. We're going to reschedule in a couple of days. We're going to go back and do the rest of that house. I'm going to bring Glenn, our sales guy. He has a good mindset just like me. Bring him in there. We're going to double team that house. It's a pretty big house. And we got a lot to cover. So we're going to try to find, after finding that one, I know we're going to have to try to look for more and just thoroughly go through that house. So this was just a little taste of that house. If you want to see more, I'm going to try to film next time we come. So be sure to stay tuned for that, and we'll see you. Thank you.